Hello, welcome to the Liverpool FC Journal. I'm Owen James. This is your Liverpool news update, guys. We're going to talk about a story that David Ornstein seems to be a very busy man on the subject of Liverpool FC today. Obviously, he brought out the news this morning that Liverpool is planning for that quiet January. That's the video we released this morning. Obviously, please check that one out. Now, stories about Ibrahima Konate, obviously, who is in the last 6 months of his contract. Obviously, Ibrahima also can speak to teams from all across the world and Europe at this moment in time. Of course, he can. So, look, where are we up to with this? Well, according to David Ornstein, it very much seems that Ibu Konate will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. This is what David Ornstein has put out today. He says Ibrahima Konate is on track to exit Liverpool in the summer. There has been no breakthrough on new terms. Now, obviously, you know, this new contract that has been negotiated and attempted to be negotiated, there's been so much supposition, rumour and counter-rumour about this. Obviously, this contract negotiation started at the same time as Jarell Quansah, now departed the club, wrongly in my opinion, signed his new deal. We can go back to, I think it's October, November 2024 for the beginning of this negotiation procedure by the club, which Ibrahima Konate himself mentioned before the Lille Champions League game last season, and obviously then has turned this contract down. Now, a lot of stories seem to be around about Ibrahima Konate wanting to be placed on wages that are around about the top wage earners at the club, you know, around about the sums earned by Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk. I certainly wouldn't put Ibrahima Konate as worth anywhere around 300, 350, 400,000 pounds. Even mentions of £275,000 a week, I think, is way too north of what you should be paying a player of Ibrahima Konate's ability. Ibu Konate has always been a player for me that is exceptionally hit and miss. When Ibu is good, he's good. When he's bad, he is bad. And he's never average. He's either really good or really bad. There is no in between with him. And this season, we've seen a Konate who has not looked at it at all. Now, we've had a few games where he has been at it against some of the top teams, particularly against Arsenal, but other games where he has looked absolutely diabolical, and one of the worst players on the pitch, certainly not worth the money that he has been quoted as wanting. This obviously comes around, reports that he was wanting to go to Madrid, and that seems to have died a death now with Madrid not wanting to sign Konate, saying that although he is big, physical and quick, he certainly has serious mistakes and concentration issues as big issues around his play, meaning Madrid don't want to touch him with a barge pole. So that move seems to have fallen through. There was talk of him going to Bayern Munich as well at one point, but with the news that Dayot Upamecano is likely to sign a new deal at Bayern, that appears to be declining as well. Madrid appear to want Guehi, Barcelona appear to want Guehi. PSG, I suppose, could come in for the Paris native, but it is, a situation where Ibrahima could exit without any exit strategy at this moment in time. Look, personally speaking, I wouldn't be sorry to see him go. I just don't think he's worth the money that he is wanting. I certainly don't think he is a starting quality Premier League centre-back. I think at times he is, but other times he just genuinely isn't. I think Liverpool's failure to sign Mark Guehi this summer to replace him effectively is one of the biggest mistakes the club have made. I think part of the reason why the club have struggled through this season. Look, if this is the case that he is to leave, then, Liverpool really do need to be looking at one, if not two, I believe, of these defenders that have been mentioned. And there's more, obviously, that I could have included on this image. Obviously, Bastoni, Guehi, Joel Ordonez, who's been linked now. Obviously, Joel Ordonez appeared to be ruled out because of his age, and Liverpool saying they didn't want to sign another project centre-back. They've got Giovanni Leone. Now, I'm sure Giovanni Leone will go on to be a great success for Liverpool, but the situation is, if Ibu is leaving, he does need to be replaced. Joe Gomez, if he has a stiff breeze, gets injured, and Virgil van Dijk has only got 18 months left on his deal, and certainly is not exactly getting any younger. So, you're looking at a situation where Liverpool could have only Giovanni Leone in 18 months' time on their books, which, is not going anywhere near good enough. So you're looking at two, maybe even three centre-backs over a period of time. But, in the short term, I think two centre-backs are an absolute must. Now, look, the Mark Guehi situation has been clouded, of course, by the Manchester City situation, with Manchester City, according to a number of reports this morning, anxious to push through a deal for Mark Gahey in January to solve their injury problems at the back. Obviously, they are missing Diaz and, of course, Guardiola as well. So, look, there's obviously pressure around there. Liverpool, may need to sort of act, but, the reports that Ornstein's put out about not wanting to act in January, I think, really do show this club has a ridiculous model at the top that isn't working. And I think, if Liverpool were to miss out on Mark Gahey, major questions do need to be asked of Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards and their fitness to continue in their present jobs. Bastoni certainly is someone who has interest in Liverpool and certainly would be a very, very good buy, but would be difficult to get away from Milan. Schlotterbeck was another one that was mentioned, but apparently he is interested in Bayern Munich. Up in Meccano, like to sign a new deal at Munich. So the options are kind of dwindling. Nathan Collins, another one from Brentford, who has certainly been mentioned. He's a very, very good centre-back. So, look, I do believe that if Konate is truly to leave, which it does look like he is going to leave, then this move needs to be made in January at least to get one, and then another one in the summer. So, look, Liverpool do need to act, and failure to act, in my opinion, is negligence on behalf of Richard Hughes and, of course, on behalf of Michael Edwards as well. This comes on top of the news today that was put out by James Pearce. I've got to say, whenever James Pearce writes anything, I do take it with a massive pinch of salt, given his ability to stick his head well and truly up the club's arse. But news that Federico Chiesa will not be allowed to leave this window on a temporary basis. No loan deal will be approved by Liverpool. However, if a permanent bid came in and Liverpool could find a replacement, then Chiesa may be allowed to leave. Now, I certainly wouldn't blame Federico Chiesa if he did leave. Certainly, he's not getting the minutes here. He's not getting the opportunity to play consistently. People have said, because he's not good enough. Just look at his last couple of performances. Well, yeah, he isn't playing consistently. He isn't match sharp. So I think to say that he isn't good enough is ridiculous, because give him a run of 5 to 10 games, actually starting, giving him a run of 5 to 10 games, play 60, 70, 80, 90 minutes over those 5 to 10 games, then draw a conclusion, not based on the odd performance here and there starting. To say that really is a stupid comment. But look, it is likely that he will be here at least until next summer. I think will leave in the summer. But certainly concerning news in the centre-back room, and I think, look, Arne Slot can sit at the press conference table and talk all the shit he wants about Endo, Gravenberch and Robbo playing as centre-backs, which, look, realistically, he may think is a good idea, but anybody with half a brain who's not Dutch would know that that is a very, very bad idea. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this story, guys. Obviously, please like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching the LFC Journal. I'll catch you on the next one.